You're listening to For Better and Worse with Jess and Rach.
Are we good? Are we on?
This is the kind of couch that just sucks you.
Oh, yeah, we're stuck.
Right
None of us are
in.
getting out of this
You're
couch,
in a
guys.
crack.
I'm gonna
We put
come
you in the
off.
ass crack of the
Do you want to sit on a
couch.
pillow?
We are where we are. We're accepting us for
Tight
what it is
couch.
at this time.
Tight couch.
Hi, Olive. Okay, we are on.
We
Jess.
are on. Okay, we are. I feel weird about this microphone positioning,
Do you
but
want me to move?
Would
No,
you like
we're
to be
good.
closer to you?
no, we're good. I'm just gonna lean.
Okay.
We are coming at you live from Jess and we're coming at you live from Jess and Joe's living room.
Whoa!
We're switching it up.
Trippy.
We're having an adult episode, so we needed an adult house. No childhood bedroom.
Childhood bedroom.
Hey.
In the most uncomfy couch we could possibly
We're
find.
all
for four
sardined.
people.
We're all sardined in this couch.
Is this really like an uncomfortable? Because this is
No.
the kind of couch that Josh and I think we would want.
Olive.
Abort.
Leave it. Good job.
We have a squeaky toy.
We have 2 donuts behind us because Olive has joined the podcast.
We've got different dogs. Different dogs today.
Yes.
Do your dogs even bark though?
No.
Olive will
my
talk like a
God.
husky talk. She does that every morning.
Lay down.
Yeah, no, the last time I was here was your guys' Halloween party, I think.
That was a good Halloween party.
Ooh.
Great Halloween party.
2019.
We throw a
I was-
good banger.
It was a
Before-
banger.
Before the pandemic.
Yeah. I was TJ,
Pre-pandem.
if I remember
Pre-pandem.
correctly.
And I was Spinelli.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
classic.
had
was
just
so-
started dating.
Got
Frosh.
snubbed from the
I did not vote for you guys. I
the
will
Halloween
admit it.
the best dress contest.
for?
I voted for Sonny and Glenn as Pumpkin Dwight and Prince of
There were
Nick.
some solid
Really
candidates,
good,
though.
really
I mean,
good
I can't
outfits.
be mad.
So yeah, every year we do a Halloween party, an
Yes.
annual Halloween party. Halloween is Joe and I's favorite holiday, so we celebrate with a rager. And
That's
we did,
no
Not last year.
lie.
and what?
Not
Yeah,
last year.
great
2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic.
Pandemic took out the Halloween party.
And-
Plus a wedding.
And we do costume contests.
We
We
do.
take it V seriously, and we
Yes.
hope that our guests do as well.
You win a
Yeah.
great prize. Something new every year
Yeah.
that we find from Goodwill.
That we buy at Goodwill, and it's pointless shit, and we hand it to you like it's really important.
You guys were honestly top tier as well.
I appreciate
I
the
feel-
compliment. Hated my outfit.
Yeah, me
You
too.
did?
What? You were wearing a cute little.
I was wearing a raincoat. That's all I
Yeah,
got to
but
wear.
that is-
So we
tied
were
in so perfect.
Pennywise and Georgie.
Which just came out. I mean, it was a hot movie. It was a hot
It
topic.
was, it
Yes.
was.
So sick.
Yeah.
I don't feel like as the party host you can win.
We cannot.
No,
you can't.
Yeah,
we
that is
don't.
a
We
rule.
weren't entered into the contest.
So
I don't
that is a
think.
rule. They've already thought about the
That is a
rules.
rule.
We will tell you that the winner was Grinch and Betty.
Betty.
What
No,
are the?
the
She's
girl.
like, hi,
Cindy Lou Who?
Betty.
Cindy Lou.
No, it was the
The
wife.
one who says, hi,
Cindy
Betty.
Lou Who.
No, that's the
No,
little
that's the
girl.
girl.
That's the daughter.
The one who shoots the things in the movie.
Yeah, the machine gun light.
Betty.
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, who is that?
I don't know.
Character. Well,
I don't
Catherine
like Jim
Zeta-Jones.
Carrey.
what?
Wait,
I think as a
She doesn't like
person, fundamentally, I like what Jim Carrey stands for. But it's something about his mouth. As a child, I could never watch his movies, could never watch The Grinch, could never watch The Mask. It disturbed me. I don't like the over,
I stand by Rachel. I have been anti-Jim Carrey for a long
No,
time.
I'm not.
I just don't talk about it because
my
you're shamed from society. And I'm not going to turn this into a movie podcast,
Hey.
but he struggled. It's not been good.
I don't believe that.
No, that's a hot
That-
take. As an outside couch person, that's a hot take. And
Yeah,
I love
that is
Jim
a hot
Carrey,
take.
Yeah.
I think people
like
are just
Eternal
over it.
Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Classic.
Good.
I'll give him the Grinch.
It's
That's
just
a
the
hard
humor. I'm not into Jim Carrey humor.
The
I
Ace,
Dumb-
Van-
Dumb
Ace
and
Ventura.
Dumber?
Ace
No.
Ventura is a bad movie. It's a bad movie. I didn't
They're
laugh.
funny for what they are.
No, they're gross. He's gross. It makes me uncomfortable.
But like the Truman Show?
Truman Show, great because it's a
Yeah.
drama. Carrie,
Yeah, fair enough.
Jim Carrey, not Carrie. Jim Carrey can really carry a drama.
Oh, Joe.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the comedy for me.
It's a
I
comedy
agree.
for me.
I agree.
But the next day after the Halloween party, because I think we had a hotel,
You did.
and the next morning I was so hungover. Rachel, being the sweet angel that she was,
Well, Rachel had to go to work.
brought me a bag of like Dunkin' with
Ooh.
like a croissant sandwich in it, and the crinkling of the bag made me want to throw up. I was that
you were that
hungover.
bad.
That did it for
Yes.
you.
He was like, Rach, Thank you, but I need you to not move that bag.
Oh gosh,
One
that's
Again.
bad,
centimeter.
Josh. That's bad.
Yes.
First off, how young and in love of you guys to get a hotel.
Yeah.
That's nice.
We did.
It's a night out.
And I
Also,
love that for you guys.
but it was very stupid because we got a hotel in Cleveland Heights, but really it was like off the
Beechwood.
Cedar exit.
Beechwood.
Yeah.
And so it was a fucking 15-minute Uber.
Right.
This is pointless.
Yeah.
Nice hotel though.
Yeah, it was. I
It
mean,
was wonderful.
I don't remember you guys being that hammered.
Well, it was part of like you don't want to drive all the way back down.
Josh was.
No,
hammered.
I was-
But Josh tried to
I
be
was
that hungover.
I was so hammered. I was like ripping cigarettes outside of the hotel.
Really?
Yeah.
If you're that bad, look.
Which is like a 2-beer occasion for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't smoke. It's not good for you. I know that. But
when we
Josh
drink-
has got to be real drunk to
We
smoke.
love a good Soch Sig.
Yeah.
Oh,
a
yeah.
good. What do we use sometimes?
What?
The brand. that we
American
get.
Spirits?
American
Oh
Spirit.
yeah, the light blue pack.
The hipster. We go yellow just because I think that's what I did at Akron when I went through a hipster phase.
I mean,
American
understandable.
We respect it.
And
Yeah.
PBRs.
A Soch Sig couple.
Yeah.
Don't blame us.
Jess, I thought of you earlier this week because I bought that pink dress. I bought this like extra dress for a photo shoot. I just saw it on this site and I was like, I want this. I looked at the dress. I was like, I know I'm not going to look good in this. It's really going to accentuate my pear shape, but I like it. I like the color and I like the vibe.
Yeah.
I get it. I put it on. I'm like, ugh. One, it's light pink, same exact color of my skin.
Ooh.
And then I take it off. I'm like, oh, I won't wear it. And then I'm like, spray tans, Rach. You can get a spray tan.
We love
They
a
We're
work.
back
tan.
up. Then I'm like, I gotta get some Spanx.
I know where
Which
we're
you
going
know.
here.
Well, so I have to get an XL. No big deal. Size 14. That fits.
That's okay.
But guys, and this goes back to the patriarchy, okay? I'm sure. I get these Spanx. I put them on. Go up to my neck.
Oh.
I have to put them over my tits.
How you gonna wear that with a dress?
I can't. But it's like because apparently the bigger you are, the taller you have to be. My torso, I've got a baby torso. It's as big as my hand. And so all of the fabric had to go
Baby
over my
torso.
tits. And so I just got flat as a board. It sucked it all in.
Which
No,
brand?
to-
Which
to-
brand?
Spanx. Spanx OG.
To fight the patriarchy, for our wedding, I wore Spanx.
Oh,
And I cannot comprehend how women have been doing this for so long. I wore Spanx and very uncomfortable like leg straps to keep my shirt tucked in. Like it was like a garter belt type thing on my
Yeah, I
I mean
remember
it worked.
We had when he bought these, he's like, "How the fuck am I gonna wear these?" And we like squeezed him into all of it.
Oh,
We're
the
like, we're
Spanx
gonna make it
was
work.
horrendous.
Yeah, Joe
what
wore,
was the like silhouette of these Spanx?
Well, that was the problem.
it was like a tee, like a wife beater.
Eeh,
Oof.
old phrase.
Oh,
I mean, but that's what people refer to
What-
in
what
the
are they
90s.
called?
I just like
Tank top.
Hey,
probably.
tank top.
yeah,
Okay.
tank top. Or do you still say white tee like
Yeah,
them
sure.
franchise boys?
okay, yeah.
Well, it was one of those white tank tops. The problem is with my white shirt, you could see through. And so I was like, I don't want people to know like I'm wearing
But you wore your jacket.
this tank top. So I had to keep my jacket on the whole wedding with Spanx. That hot.
I'm
dancing
taking-
on the dance floor.
I'm taking portraits
Shout out.
of Jess and Joe in this like magical field, and like
Beautiful.
I was like, let's lay down for some, like just to get some variety. And Joe looked at me like,
I wasn't getting back up.
I'm wearing Spanx, Rach.
I wasn't getting
I'll
back
do
up.
it. He did in his typical, I'll do it if you want me to, but Jess, these are really tight. It's just gonna be uncomfortable. I'm just worried.
Joe wore Spanx, and I wore Spanx with butt pads.
Hell yeah!
Yes.
But listen to this. I love my butt pads. I wear my Spanx butt pads often. I was not gifted.
They're nice.
They're nice. I wasn't gifted with the booty. Okay, it was not in the cards for me. Both my parents have flat asses, and that's fine. But they do.
I thought your dad had a.
No, that thing's.
I think my father-in-law.
Is your dad not
I
double
think he's-
cheeked out?
He's not so much. He's like inverted, and I just want to let people know that those do exist, and they're great.
You loved it.
I did,
Yeah.
and I like the way I looked at my wedding, and I like the way I look with my butt pads in.
No, and
I will not get surgery. I will just wear butt pads.
sometimes for me, it's gonna be worth the sacrifice. I'm gonna wear the Spanx again at Chris and Carrie's wedding next week.
Let's go.
I gotta try to
Heyo.
keep it all together for one more wedding.
Keep it all together.
If it makes you feel better,
Everything,
go
yeah,
for it.
all this.
Yeah,
Yeah, shout out to Chris and Carrie's wedding next weekend.
Hey.
Actually,
It's this
in 3
weekend.
days. Yeah,
Yeah, this weekend.
And for what it's worth, you guys did look great.
that's
At
so
your
nice.
wedding.
Thank
Way
you.
to bring it all together, Josh.
Yeah.
Way to bring
I
it all
appreciate
together.
that.
Yeah,
really, I do.
appreciate that.
I do.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, guys, we're very excited to have the boys on. We felt like we've been talking about them enough for the past 13 episodes.
Right. Here they are.
But here
We're
they
here.
are.
In the flesh.
In the flesh. So,
Josh and Joe, J and J, backwards
Yeah.
hats,
6s.
sixes.
Sixes.
but we got a couple DMs on Instagram.
Hey.
Look at us getting those.
We're growing.
You guys think we know what we're doing. So we're going to keep pretending, baby. And I thought that this would be good to get the guy's perspective
Yeah.
on.
That's why we're here.
Of course.
To provide the male perspective. Thank you. Okay, so, hey ladies, I have a question to submit for the pod. Whether you answered or not, it's totally okay, but here it is. Spoiler alert, we aren't answering it. Okay. So, no surprise, I love y'all's podcast. It's helped me a lot with thinking about who I am and what kind of person I want to share my life with. Lots of thinking has been done, and I'm noticing that my relationship has to come to an end. How do you break up with someone you love but is not for you? How do you break that to them? Breakups are not easy, and mustering up the confidence to do this is so stressful. Sorry this is TMI, but hurting the people who love you and who you love has been on my mind. Because it's not just breaking up with them, it's breaking up with the life you made with them. Hope to hear your advice and insight on the pod. Appreciate you both, and thanks for kicking off my weekends.
What's her name?
We're not saying her name
Oh,
because this is a
anonymous.
personal.
I was going to thank her for all the nice words. But
Very
we're not
nice.
going to expose her. Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah.
No,
But
breaking up with people is hard.
So hard.
It's so hard. I am of the mindset of just, and this is going to sound terrible, just being as bad as you can until they break up with you.
Ah. it
He's
does
honest.
sound terrible.
He's
It's
honest.
terrible. But like that's better than the anxiety of leading up and breaking up with somebody.
Okay.
I'm
Which is the
polar
grown thing to
opposite,
do.
man.
Just so we're clear, don't do that.
Okay. Yeah,
Don't do
noted.
that ever.
Okay.
That is bad advice.
Joe?
Thank you for your honesty and vulnerability in that moment,
Yeah,
Josh.
you're
I
welcome.
appreciate you. But no.
I mean, it's very honest, and like we have to
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people will turn to that option because it's so less stressful.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
But the grown-up thing to do is ripping the Band-Aid off and sitting them down and explaining to them,
Yeah.
hey, this is the reason why this isn't working out.
I think it's so important to like you need to recognize and shout out to this DM because like this is a hard thing to go through.
Right.
And for her to share that's a lot. But I think what's important to know is like you staying with them for if it's the life that you build, it's the love that you have, is only going to hurt them in the end because they're going to be able to recognize that you don't love them. And there's maybe nothing worse than being in a relationship and realizing like maybe you care too much or that person is removed. So yeah, it's going to be so shitty for a couple days.
Yeah.
And
But-
I'm sure like as she's realized like this isn't for me.
Yes.
You immediately start pulling away. It's like
Yeah.
the
Yes.
jig is up. As soon as you press send on this DM, it's like it's out there. Someone else knows about it.
Right.
It's not forever anymore.
And you automatically start acting distant and they pick
Yeah.
up on that.
Oh, they know.
Yeah.
They're going to know right away.
Right. So
They
at
probably
that
already
point-
know.
Yeah.
No, what I was going to say is Joe has had really mature breakups.
I've been very
which
fortunate.
is something I cannot fathom. My breakups have been
Likewise.
messy and really immature and ultimatums thrown left and right. But Joe is like,
Yikes.
yeah, you've like sat down with women and been like, I don't see this working out between us. I wish you the best. I'm like,
I've also
no,
been dumped
man.
a lot.
Yeah, but you guys have had like mutual.
Very, very mutual, very understanding. Not that I'm friends with my exes, but I like see them in a great way, and I think they see me in a good way. And if we come across each other, it's so normal. So I'm being honest with that person during the breakup just goes so long. Or goes.
Yeah.
How do you be so honest? Like, how can you just like?
Well, I think it's like this false, like that you're ever going to feel like it's the right place, right time.
Yes,
Like
gotcha.
it is always going to be terrible, but you just have to like find peace in knowing that like the journey you're on, you have to like, this is like the step you have to take. This is an inevitable obstacle.
Mhm.
And so I mean, who doesn't disassociate during those times? Who doesn't just like
Absolutely.
get that frequency in their ears and like get really hot and just like I know everything in our body wants to like avoid going through that and doing that because it's heartbreak and it's sad and it's taking on other people's emotions.
Yeah,
But just
and you're
know
hurting
like
someone. It
you
sucks.
can do it. Like, and it's for the best. Like, you wouldn't be saying this if you didn't think it was going to be in their best interest and your best interest in the long run. So it inevitably is terrible.
And the hard part can be is they don't think it's in their best interest at that point.
Great point.
Right.
Yeah,
You know?
great point.
Like they still see it as a great relationship, but you've moved on already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just sending that DM, she's moved on.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
Oh,
100%.
the decision's there. And also, it's important to remember, like, and this is maybe not the thing to say during the breakup, but you're also thankful for that person because, like, you became the version of you that you're reaching for, and you learned from this relationship. Maybe you're not thankful in the way of like, hey, I wish I would have ended this a long time ago, but you're thankful in the way of like, hey, moving forward, I know that there's things in me that I need to hold on to or I need to look for in someone else.
Yes.
Or like you brought that out of me while dating.
Yeah.
Like while
Yeah.
together. Like I'm the best version of me because I dated you. Like,
For
sure.
but I just can't serve this relationship any longer.
Yeah. And sometimes there's not a good reason. You just say, like, I can't explain it. I'm heartbroken over this. I just know that this relationship isn't right. And I want us to be able to talk about this. And we can when you're ready and when I'm ready. But I know it's a lot to digest. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I think honesty, I'm always going to say honesty is the best policy. You don't ever want, like, to leave that conversation with them wondering if there's anything they could have done or if there's anything they did wrong or if, you know, you can't just send a text and leave the conversation.
Right.
And it
You
is
know?
weird that, like, I don't know if it's just like romantic TV or romantic comedies where like, oh, if they say it's not you, it's me. Like, it's definitely you. I don't think that's true. Because, like, I think when you break up with somebody like this person might be going through, it is them. They're feeling it in themselves that they don't want to be in this relationship anymore.
Yeah.
So it's okay to tell your partner that. Are they going to enjoy hearing it? Probably not. But
Yeah.
it is what you're going through.
And no, like, their reaction and their emotions are not your responsibility.
Right.
They
That's a
are
great point.
not yours to hold or handle, although, like, empathy and all of those things are very, like, admirable and important characteristics. Like, that is a big sign of codependency, which we should do an episode on. But, like, their reaction and their feelings are not yours to handle, you know?
I just went over this in therapy, actually.
Good.
Word for word, yeah.
Codependency.
Love to hear it.
My mom will recommend. I haven't read it, so it's not recommended by me, but it is recommended by Cher. Codependence No More.
Oh.
Ooh.
My mom's read that book and preached it. Still to this day is the most codependent bitch I've ever met in my life. So, but
At least you working on
but
it.
she knows she got a
She
problem.
knows. She knows.
She gives it to everyone. She gives Josh a copy. It's like
Yeah, I
she
got
like
my
has a
copy.
wholesale account through this author. Like she's passing it out.
No, she's sponsored by
Yes.
the
Sponsored by Codependent No More.
author. God, I love Sherry.
But perfect. Okay. And we got another DM, which segues perfectly into today's episode about Enneagrams.
Wait, that's how you say it?
Yeah.
I know. That's what I said to her. Enneagram.
Oh, I've been saying enneagrams for a good
That's
week now.
close.
Yeah. Tomato to potato, you know?
To each his own.
Right. To each his own.
To each-
Cauliflower.
Right.
Over my dead
Tomato.
body.
Tomato.
Over my dead body with the
Cauliflower.
cauliflower. Josh. And
Crayon.
Crayon.
Okay. We're all agree.
How do you?
Milk.
Milk.
Milk,
You
it's an
crazy
I.
bitch.
Yeah, you're insane for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is seriously.
That one's like actually spelled the way
you're
you're supposed
wrong.
to say it.
Sorry.
Pillow or pillow?
Pillow.
Okay.
Well, then why is milk milk?
Yeah.
It just is. I don't know. Maybe it's a
Very
Pennsylvania thing.
Are you from
Please
Pennsylvania?
A lot of my family is.
Maybe it's genetic. How you say milk?
I don't know if it's genetic as it is so much just like inherited
Yeah, okay.
language.
What you heard growing up.
What I
Yeah.
heard. Okay.
Let's hear it.
But so Enneagrams are a personality type test / belief system, if you will. It's like some people really like horoscopes. Some people really like Enneagrams, and there are 9 types on the Enneagram scale. You know, 1 through 9. I'm an 8.
I'm 7.
Joe is
I'm a 6, a solid 6.
Mm-hmm.
and
I'm also 6.
Ooh,
Team
look
six.
at
It's gonna be really
that.
fun.
6.
Team 6.
but this question, which I'm probably gonna end up answering most of it because they're 8s in this question, and I'm an 8. Okay. So, hello, wonderful people. My family and close friends also call me Rach. Hi, Rach. I'm an Enneagram type 8, so I relate. In August of 2020, I married a wonderful man. We've been together for 2.5 years and have been living together for over a year now. We are both type 8, so our communication is very open, and we have a very healthy relationship. I'm curious to know your thoughts on going to therapy before a problem arises, per se. I'd also like to hear about your thoughts on 2 type 8s being married to one another. Love your podcast, love the light you bring, and what it's like to have a realistic relationship and what it's like to be a woman in today's world.
Aw.
What the fuck do we do, Jess? I don't even know.
We don't know. We love that you love us, though.
Yes. So what I will say about 8s, because I know a lot about them being one, is I would say going to therapy is probably a really good thing to do.
Therapy place. Here she goes again.
Therapy place. Because 8s, one of their biggest struggles is vulnerability. And it's something that, like, I don't necessarily struggle with so much because I was raised by 2s, which are, like, the helpers. So, like, I kind of was, like, vulnerability was very normalized, which we'll get into a little bit more later. But I can see how that could be an issue if 2 people that struggle being vulnerable and are leaders and independent don't have, like, at least monthly check-ins emotionally.
Right.
I hear you.
Because you could feel just like, we're doing it. We're getting stuff done. We're succeeding. We're going this way. We're doing all the best things. But in order to grow emotionally together, you have to tear down those walls and be vulnerable. And something my therapist catches me up a lot in doing is, like, I'll say something like, I was really annoyed or upset by this. And then I'll rationalize it, why I shouldn't be upset or why they didn't mean to do it, because I want to, like, put a purpose to it. I want to rationally think about it. I don't want to get in touch with my emotions. And you probably, if you're an 8 and your spouse is an 8, you're probably doing that as well. Rationalizing why you shouldn't be upset that the dishes didn't get put away or that, like, you know, whatever stupid problem may arise or whatever serious problem may arise. So I would definitely encourage therapy. Josh and I have talked about this, wanting to go to therapy before we even get engaged, because, I mean, for me personally, it's like getting married again and going through all of that. It's like, I want us both to be on, like, the same page. And sometimes you don't even know you're not on the same page as one another.
Yeah.
You're just living life. And especially when you're an 8 and you're self-assured and confident, you are probably pretty happy just on the road that you're on. And if you aren't, like, checking in with your person intentionally, it might be hard.
Yeah, that would be tough. For 2 people who are, like, on the same path, right? That are just like, I don't need nobody. I'm good on my own.
Pickle.
It is.
Could
good
you
to have
imagine
those-
2 of me?
Yeah, it would. That would be tough.
Yeah.
You would need, like, monthly check-ins. Like, are we good?
Pickle.
Sorry, we have a guest.
We
Yes,
got
okay.
a
Good job.
very,
Good job.
very,
Look ahead, look
very,
ahead.
very. We got a precarious
Phone.
computer sitch over here.
That sounds good.
Pickle.
Hey,
Well,
Pickle.
good.
Not pretty
Do you
loud.
want a bone? Do you
So,
want a bone?
best of luck. I think 2 8s together could probably take on the world.
Oh, that's nice.
Honestly. And we're gonna talk about our relationships together too. So this is the perfect little segue, everyone.
Love it.
Yeah, good
Segue,
question, Rach.
yeah.
You want to pause?
Other Rach.
Other
Rach, you sent the message.
Rach number 2.
Let's move into. We're gonna do stupid fights of the week from a guy's perspective.
Oh yeah.
We typically do this. Rach and I do, but we're gonna throw it on. We're gonna throw it on Josh and Joe and see what their stupid fights of the week are. Go ahead, Joe. Take it away.
Stupid fight of the week.
I'm excited.
Actually,
I'm so excited.
I know. I have no idea what.
I
mine
am
is.
not excited. Because the reason I'm bringing this stupid fight of the week is it's a fight that was so close to happening and I somehow avoided it.
Nice.
So okay, Jess and I fell in love, like actually fell in love with these chips from Trader Joe's. Okay, Trader Joe's, such a spot. We love it. It's our go-to grocery shop. But also, if you're lucky, they have these like off-brand. I won't even call them off-brand. Trader Joe's Fritos type thing.
Well, they're like Mexican street corn flavored.
Street corn.
Ooh.
They are straight
They're stupid.
Elote?
They're stupid.
fire.
I don't know what that
Heaters.
is, but-
Heaters they are.
The heaters?
They
No,
are.
they're good.
Confirmed?
Oh
boy.
my god.
As Gen Z, I don't know if they say this, but those chips slap.
They do.
Slap.
You don't know
Absolutely.
if they say it, Joe.
Yeah.
So
I say that.
we pick these up on. I go shopping Tuesday during my lunch hour. Load up on groceries. Get lucky. Find street corn chips. I bring them home. Jess has a few bites.
Literally two handfuls. That's it. I put it back. I said, I'm gonna savor these for later.
Ooh.
Perfect, yeah.
So that night, which is one of Jess's pet peeves, my late night snacking.
Do you? No,
Yeah,
it's not
no,
a
you-
pet peeve.
You
It's
don't
a
tell me not to.
no. It's a do you. But every time he wakes up with like a stomach ache and he's like, wow, I just feel so bloated, or
Why
I
did I eat
don't
those
feel
chips?
well.
Yeah.
Why did I late night snack? And I was like, well, eating late night doesn't really feel good when you wake up in the morning. That's just facts, straight facts.
So that night, I dive into the chips, but I don't like eat that much. I just like it's a few chips. I have something else with it. I'm good to go. But it was the next morning.
Whoa, the
Jess,
morning
Jess had to work
snack.
the early shift morning. I'm still working from home some days a week, and it's like 9 a.m. corn chip time. But not like let me have this corn chip with my egg. I ate like a bag of corn chips.
Ooh.
And then I had to leave because I had to go to the office for a meeting. So I leave,
Sure.
and in the middle of this serious, like scary meeting, my phone goes off. And all I saw was, you ate the chips. I ate the whole bag.
Oh no.
And immediately I was like, hey, you just got to own up. You'll buy more. You'll go pick them up on the way home. One, you're not guaranteed these chips anywhere. So Trader Joe's might not have them.
No, they're a hot item because either they have them or they don't.
And I hit Jess with a, hey, yeah, I snacked this morning. I'll pick up a new bag. And all I get was, no need.
Whoa!
I said, I'm good.
Yeah, then the I'm good.
Oh
And
no.
then, seriously, I'm good.
Because he's like, no. This is typical Joe. No, I swear. I'll pick them up on my
It's
way
on
home.
me.
It's
I
on
take
me. I'll do
responsibility.
it. And I'm like, seriously, I'm good.
But
Feel
I
shot.
avoided
Feel
this
shot.
fight because I was at the office. If I was home
Ooh.
and I was sitting on this couch,
Yeah.
if I was up in my office and I heard her like look for those chips out the window, I'm gone.
Okay, but tell me this.
Yeah.
I ran errands after work, so I'm
I'm
famished.
still feeling bad.
I'm famished. And the one thing in my head, I know I'm going home too. I got Joe went grocery shopping, but the one thing I was like, chips. Those damn
And
chips.
she
I was
never-
ready
She
for 'em.
never eats chips.
No, but I wanted them.
Yeah, these are like
Hey.
the one things. I'm sorry.
How did you avoid it? Did you get more chips?
No,
I did not.
you didn't avoid it, really.
Well,
Oh my
no, the
God.
good thing. I don't want to say
You
this
didn't
is a
even
good
try
thing.
to stop at Trader Joe's?
He did, but I was like, seriously,
did.
don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want him at that point. I was like, I don't need him.
And also, Jess does a very good job. Like, if she doesn't want something, you'll know when she doesn't. Like, there's no like, hey, I think you wanted these. I surprised you. Because then you're like,
That's
no,
chocolate.
I really told you I didn't want these. That's chocolate only. Because she doesn't eat chips. So this was just a rare occasion
But I,
where she wanted them, and I smashed a bag at 8
I
a.m.
mean, you don't eat chips.
She doesn't.
Like, you just don't seek them out on your own.
I do. I mean, I do. Just Joe eats them before I can get to
What?
him.
No, that's a lie. Jess, you eat popcorn and that's it. Jeez.
I'm kidding. But
I am on the polar opposite. Like, I eat chips. Like, that's the one. I don't eat sweets. I don't like chocolate. It's chips.
Yeah.
That
That's
can
fair.
of Pringles,
Mm.
10 minutes, gone.
Mm-hmm.
Sour
get
cream
that.
and onion, pizza,
Less than.
original, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Easily.
Easy money.
Two at a time.
Just
Easy
crunching through
Two at
them.
a time. You put your 2 fingers in to get the bottom.
As a child, I could never understand the texture of Pringles or baked Lays.
Confusing.
Because I was like, there's no way you put these in an oven, you put potatoes in the oven, this doesn't happen. So as a child, I had it in my mind that there's just some lady mashing potatoes up, and just slurping them on a pan.
Stop.
Slurp it up.
Slurp.
For some
And bacon 'em.
reason, I thought that Pringles had to like fit to your tongue.
Oh.
They kind of look like
but
that.
But
whose
they
tongue?
don't.
They're huge.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ah,
My tongue
Yeah,
is that
I always
big.
thought that though, but that's not true.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? It's like, it is mashed potato texture in a chip.
Mm.
It is.
and once you bite it, it does become mashed potato.
It
Exactly.
does, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a good food to throw up.
I saw a
Getting
TikTok of
on that
somebody
level.
reheating them and boiling Pringles and turning them into mashed potatoes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm
Kinda
upset.
like-
I'm on prison
Deconstructing the
TikTok, so
Oh.
I think that's where I saw it. He had like some like a hot mama sausage he put in and like
They know
ramen
how to
noodle
cook.
On
They
prison
know what they're
TikTok,
doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, pickle.
They
So
also-
that was stupid fight of the week that I avoided. Shout out to Trader Joe's for making the best chips. I usually don't eat spicy things because they got a kick to them.
They do.
As Jess said, they're heaters. But these ones, 9 o'clock came around. I had eggs.
AM though.
Yeah,
We are the same person, Joe, because
just went
I'm a
to town,
late
man.
night eater too, and like early morning, if I need to eat it, I'll eat it.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
No,
I don't know why the late night eating's like. I mean, it's just like my biggest pastime. Throw on a movie, eat.
Just snack out.
it's your unwinding time.
Yeah, but yeah, I need to figure it out.
Do you have any stupid fights, babe?
Yeah, well, we have one today.
Literally in our presence.
Yeah, before we started recording the podcast, there was a miscommunication on a certain bag.
That had a computer and all the recording equipment that I
Yeah.
use.
A very important bag.
Well, not all the recording equipment, but all my technology in which to
Right.
use that recording equipment was left at our house in Kent.
Yeah, it was just a simple miscommunication.
And
Nothing really.
And how did you handle that? Do you think-
I was accepting all the blame until I remembered that I didn't actually mess up.
Ooh.
This is
And
new.
then we brought it to the forefront, and
Where was the forefront?
it was you basically saying that you thought that I said that I was gonna grab the bag and take it to the car
Yeah.
because you were putting a large camera into this small bag,
This is the tea, y'all.
and I was like, no, let me take that from you, and you assumed it was the bag.
Oh.
Because he was putting all of the things in the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
To be
was
fair.
loading the car.
Okay. Yeah, we just knew it was missing. We didn't get to hear the details. So
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah, it was hot. It was tense when we first showed up.
But it's okay because we're
Classic
here.
MC.
Jess,
Yeah.
Jess's
Classic
54-inch
iMac computer
is
is recording us, and I have a camera, thankfully.
so this hopefully will work and
Oh, I
go
think it
down well.
Not as good as the chip story, but
No,
Yeah.
to be honest though, what was good, Josh, he handled this like a star, man.
yeah.
You took responsibility. You owned up to it. You kept the
I-
room calm.
I chirped Rachel whenever she went out to the car, though.
Oh,
I was like, "There's no way I messed this up." When she went out
I don't
to
think
the
Rachel
car.
knew that.
No, this is breaking news to her. But
Yeah,
was
I
like,
panicked. I put.
I
on
know I didn't. She didn't say take this back to the car.
Fine.
And Jess and Joe were laughing. They're like,
No,
"Yeah,
wasn't
no, I
laughing.
believe
put on a
you."
World War II documentary to ease myself of the stress.
Like, let me watch something easy.
Yeah, let me watch World War II bombings while this.
And I was already like 3 steps ahead of everyone, like getting my iMac out and my computer, and I was like, no, we're fine here.
This day has been a day. I feel like I'm like beat ass red.
Yeah.
I just found out that I'm gonna I need to find $5,000 for some like new improvement for the photo studio that I wasn't planning on. My landlord accused me of smoking weed. It's just been a day,
It's been a doozy.
and
been a day.
I've been heated. And in true 8 fashion, as my landlord texts me accusing me of something that I didn't do, I just said, "You got it wrong. Don't appreciate the accusation, though."
Yeah, we
handled
shut it
very
down
well.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what? It's
You
like
can't just throw accusations around like they're nothing.
you can't. And like he's the kind of guy that like he like has a house somewhere else, like in maybe South Carolina or something. So he's only in Ohio like 1 week out of a
dude.
month. And it's like
Don't be pointing fingers at me, bruh.
Come on, dude.
rude. I'm gonna go on and it threw me off. Everything threw me off. So hopefully we've done a good job so far on this podcast. But we do need to get into the meat of the episode.
Let's
Yes,
get into
definitely.
the meat.
So I'm gonna
Give me
explain.
the meat.
I did a.
Give me the meat.
Give me the
Pass
meat.
the meat.
You want what is it? You got
Arby's.
the meat?
We
You got.
have the meat.
I don't think that's
You've
what
got
it is.
the
Well,
meat.
excuse-
Arby's.
Is that Arby's?
We have the meats. We have the meat. Arby's. We have the meat.
Yeah.
We love Arby's. Josh and I fucking love
Ew,
Arby's.
you're trash people for that.
Oh yeah, we are trash people.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no.
Okay, own it.
Time out. You eat Arby's? You're high class fast food.
No.
I
Yes.
could never afford Arby's in my fast
Yes,
food
it's
heydays.
expensive as hell.
You know it's bottom of the barrel.
No.
Dude,
You
no.
can't-
It is finely sliced
It
roast beef.
You can't leave Arby's without spending $25.
Listen,
And you don't even get a lot of food.
Easily.
someone made a reference to roast beef
No.
to,
Mm.
and I won't.
I get that.
I won't
I
indulge.
understand that.
Good job.
I won't. And that's how I feel about Arby's. Their curly fries, slap.
They're good.
Best mozzarella sticks I've ever had.
Very good
Arby's.
mozzarella sticks.
You won't eat roast beef because it resembles a vagina.
No, she just won't eat roast beef.
Not my meat of choice.
Maybe that's why I like it.
not my meat of choice.
All right, time for the meat of the episode. Jesus Christ. Okay, so we're talking about
Extra
Enneagrams,
slappy for you guys.
and
Were you cooking that up?
No, I was thinking of other meat references and
Extra sloppy for you guys.
That is a
I was
classic.
thinking meat
Yes.
references. Yeah.
oh
Chris
my
Farley,
god,
rest in peace. Also, shout out, hard day for me. Prince died 2016. Today's the death anniversary.
RP.
That's
Hard
meat.
day for
It's
Joe.
Give me the meat already.
It's a hard day.
Okay, so the Enneagram of personality, or simply the Enneagram, is a model of the human psyche, which is principally understood and taught as a typology of 9 interconnected personality types. I read that off of Google. Didn't prepare that myself. So it's just personality tests. I encourage you to do your own research, thoughts, feelings, emotions about it. We're not going to talk about every single personality type, but we are going to talk about ours and
Yes.
how they go together.
Yes.
And the tests are super fun. Like, I spent all night last night.
Just
Multiple
Googling.
tests, yeah.
Yeah, and shout out Brady for taking the test on a whim when I texted him about
And
it.
who's Brady, and
Yeah,
why are
Brady.
you mentioning him?
Brady's my account manager.
Oh, great.
at work.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
Shout
and he
out,
just
big-
did it.
Yeah, big
That's
shout
a-
out to Brady.
That's a top-notch account manager.
I think he's an 8, is what he said.
Okay.
97%. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I am a 7, which is the enthusiast. Excuse me. So 7s are extroverted, optimistic, versatile, and spontaneous. Playful, high-spirited, and practical. They can also misapply their many talents, becoming overextended, scattered, and undisciplined.
What?
You're
It-
the most person I've ever met.
I know. They constantly seek new and exciting experiences, but can become distracted and exhausted by staying on the go. Yes. They typically have problems with impatience and impulsiveness, aka our dog Pickle was an impulse buy. At my best, I focus on talents, on worthwhile goals, becoming appreciative, joyous, and satisfied. My basic desire is to be satisfied and content and to have my needs fulfilled. And I feel like that sums it up. It's very, very accurate to me.
It's dead on.
And that is me. So Joe is a 6.
Yes, the loyalist. Also, Josh is a 6 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are a little bit different than 7s and probably some other ones. I took quick notes. We have high emotions, and we always wear the emotions on our sleeves. We are planners, but we are based in stress and anxiety when we don't have control over a situation or we aren't planned for the worst case scenario. We do strive with organization. We have a extreme need for social groupings where the responsibility is not always on us. We are very loyal. Our healthiest attributes, we're trusting. We elicit emotions from other people. We are affectionate, and we do strive to be leaders ourselves, but also crave leadership from authorities and other, I guess, organizations, especially at work.
Yeah.
Our biggest issues are we're highly reactive. We have a major fear if we don't have security. We also often feel as if we're out to get ourselves by being indecisive. And quick shout out, my biggest role model in life is a number 6, Robert Kennedy.
Shout out to the Kennedys.
Shout out to the
Oh.
Kennedys.
Did he take the test? No, but I
No.
think they type based on.
Yeah.
His decisions in life.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
rest in peace. Man,
Yeah. Did he test? No.
no. He knew he was a 6.
He knew when he died. He's like, this is for my 6s.
Okay,
No, that's
so
not what he said.
No, it's not.
I am going to read the relationship between sevens and sixes. Okay.
Yes.
So, type 6, the loyalist, with type 7, the enthusiast. Both, and this is all from the EnneagramInstitute.com, a very good
Great website.
resource for this. Okay. Both Enneagram 6s and 7s are mental types, and there can be a great deal of mental stimulation in this pairing. These two types offer many areas in which they reinforce each other, and some areas in which the strengths of one counterbalance the limitations of the other.
Oh.
On a daily basis, you save me from breakdown.
Facts.
7s are usually entertaining and tend to lift the spirit of the 6. Both are quick mentally and often have sharp wits. They enjoy bantering with each other, verbally sparring, and seeing how absurd or funny they can become as they push each other to more outrageous limits.
True. Oh my gosh.
This is so crazy.
I know.
Jess roasts Joe literally anytime
Constantly.
she can.
Literally, it's the basis of our relationship. So much so that, like, we did it in a family setting, and my dad was like, hey, is that normal? Or, like, I feel bad for Joe if you're, like, calling him out like that. I was like,
I tried to, like, give her, like, a winky kiss face, and she was like, what are you doing, you weirdo? In front of everybody.
oh my God. I was like, I think you were trying to be cute with that. And it was so bad. But no, it is,
But
it's
it's
just
funny.
become, I don't know why
Every
I do
time,
it.
like, I get in bed, you're like, oh, I think I smell something.
Oh, okay. This
This is not
is
funny.
my favorite one. So
Because-
Joe, like, sleeps in his underwear like most guys do, maybe. I don't know. But anyway,
Are you looking to me to confirm?
No,
no.
but that is a real question. What do you sleep in?
Oh, undies, no shirt.
Yeah.
All the movies, guys.
But
have
also,
their-
I can sleep in jeans
I
and
can
like a
too,
sweatshirt. That's
I can
so
also-
6 of you.
I can also sleep in the nude.
Are we
I heard
lying?
it's healthy.
Yes.
I try to rotate.
No, you slip in the bed nude.
Okay.
That's what he does. Okay, so when
Time out. That's concerning.
What?
I read that sometimes you're supposed to sleep naked.
But you
and-
do, but you do it, and you'll be like, so Joe watches TV before he goes to bed, and I go to bed pretty early because I work early in the morning, so I'm asleep by the time he gets into bed. And so when he sleeps nude is when, obviously, I go to bed earlier, and he'll be like, I'm naked. And I'm like, okay.
Well, but the problem is if I get naked to climb in bed, you're like, hey, go put on clothes.
I'm like,
no.
no. I don't know why.
This doesn't happen often. I have a rotation to make sure I'm meeting my naked
Right.
requirements.
Your naked requirements. Total 6 move.
All
Your
right.
airration,
More
you get
about-
enough
more
aeration
about
now.
Okay,
seven.
no, but
6.
anyways, what I was saying with this is that so Joe gets into bed, and I was like, he'll like come, like go to sit down and lay into bed, and there's like a breeze that goes past me, like whew, like a waft. I'm like,
We don't pretend like it's real.
okay, no, but I have to act like it's real. And I was like, okay, I smell something, and he's like, what? And I was like,
Oh.
kind of like butt.
Just
Like-
stop.
like-
Don't say this stuff.
And I was like, something like smells kind of just a little off, a little funky. He's like,
And me being a 6, the anxiety is
He's
through
like-
the damn roof.
Yeah,
He's like-
exploding.
Oh,
he's like,
I'm
I'll go.
sweating.
I'm
He's like,
anxious right now
he
for
goes,
you.
he goes immediately like goes. He's like, I'm gonna go wash my hands and go in the shower. And I was like,
I gotta wash my butt.
And I'm like, why do I find so much enjoyment? I don't know what it is about him being like that gullible, or I'm just
Very
like
gullible.
crying on like his 6ness and being
His
like,
sixness.
Yeah.
and being like, I know that you care this much about it, but it's just me. You know, it's like, even if you did smell, like, it's me. I don't care, you know? But anyways.
Guys, I don't smell.
He does. Okay, yeah, but it's always a joke. Like
It's
it's
a-
never reality.
Oh my god. Okay. Keep going. 7s are particularly good at generating new ideas, while 6s are particularly good at mastering the practical steps that are necessary to getting things done.
That freaks me out.
7s help 6s
Yes.
put fear and limitation into perspective, and sometimes to move beyond them entirely. They thus make effective team members in which the 7 lays out the big picture and gets people excited about new possibilities, while the 6 moves in with the logistical and tactical know-how,
Yes.
following
Yes.
through with the details. In intimate relationships, the same balance pertains. 7s are the stimulators, 6s are the regulators,
Yep.
and they can keep each other moving forward by allowing the other to counterbalance their own limitations.
This is actually wild.
It's so crazy, honestly.
I see it like when we plan trips. Like
I
the
was-
difference in you and I is
We went camping.
yeah, and just the detail that I put into planning just a simple camping trip.
It was a lot. It was
It was heavy.
It was very stressful. And Joe's need to control things were not there in camping and in weather and bringing an untrained dog and all of that.
Hard,
and
yeah.
I just like wanted to have fun and roll with the punches, and we decided to take Olive canoeing, and that was so stressful. He's also like, I've canoed before, not like this.
Not like it was rapids.
It was very intense. We had a dog on the canoe. We don't even know if she likes water at that point.
Yeah.
So stressful, but I do feel like those are very accurate.
Loved hearing that. And I also
We're not even done.
Oh, God.
We have one more paragraph.
Go.
You want me to go? To this visionary, functionary mix, sixes bring commitment and loyalty to the seven, often an expertise and groundedness that the seven comes to trust and rely on implicitly, as well as a strong grip on reality and what can be accomplished within given parameters. Sevens bring a driving sense of optimism and possibility, high energy, a sense of adventure, and fearlessness with regard to failure.
Did you write
They can teach sixes how to be resilient and how to not fear the future, while sixes can teach sevens the difference between optimism and pipe dreams.
Oh my God. Optimism pipe dream stuff.
Holy shit.
That is so, and I think everyone I work with is a 6, so like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And also like where you work too. It's like.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know if you got deep into reading about like counterphobic sixes versus like.
I think I did.
So there are two. I think the sixes are the only type that are like this, where it has two different, almost two different types of sixes, and that's very interesting to me. But Joe mistyped as a 1.
I think it's what I wanted to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm far from it.
Yes, which is funny because a 1 is my ex.
Yeah.
And so when he said that, I was like, no way. No, absolutely no goddamn way.
Well, they had attributes that I thought were attractive.
Yes.
But they also, like, I didn't recognize some of the limitations they deal with that I've never seen in my life. So I'm definitely not a 1. 110%. Team 6.
So
Did you ever mistype as anything else?
a 2.
Yeah.
Which most people do.
Yes.
I feel like, because it's who you want to be. You want to be this helpful person, but it's like there's more to you than being helpful, and it's like I do have those attributes, but it's not wholeheartedly who I was.
Yes.
How much does it play in, like, what you were raised by? Is it you get your own thing on your own, or?
So I think what's really interesting about Enneagram and why I think so many other people like it versus like astrology or like Myers-Briggs or whatever is like it can be dependent on so many things. Like you and Josh are both 6s, raised in entirely different socioeconomic places, entirely different reasons for almost why you're a 6.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is very interesting.
It's really cool.
Is it's like, are we all just clones in the Matrix? Maybe.
Right.
You know? Because it is so freaking scary how accurate all of it is.
Yeah, me too.
I mistyped as a 2 for a long time as well, but that was because I was in a relationship for 7 years with someone that if you read
were acting as a 2.
If you read the relationship dynamic between an 8 and a 1, it is comical.
Really?
This site straight up says not recommended.
Oh no!
Not recommended for romantic pairings. Because it's 2 people that are leaders and think their way is right, and it's not good. And so I typed as a 2 for my entire for my marriage because I couldn't be
yourself. For
our sanity. I couldn't be myself.
Wow.
Right.
And I mean, there are a lot of attributes. Like my mom's a 2, my sister's a 2, and those are 2 people that raised me and made me who I am today. And so I am helpful. I do care for people, but it's all about your motivations behind things.
Oh, I got you.
So I think it's important if you take this test, take it as yourself, not as your career.
Yes,
not
I messed up. I did that career based.
Yeah.
It was really wrong.
Yeah, I feel I'm but that's an engineer. That's
guys, I'm so far from an engineer.
Yeah.
Ask me to do a math question. I can't even get.
But I do feel it's rooted in some of those perfectionism, but it's not who you are wholeheartedly.
No.
Yeah.
So fun. I love it.
Yeah. Okay, let's go into Rach and Josh's. I mean, I know we kind of touch on it, but just go
let's do
with
it.
your Enneagrams.
Okay. Let me So we've already kind of gone into what the 6 is. So
Yeah,
same.
I'm a 6 out of, I think, just plain out like survivability.
Ooh,
It was like,
crucial.
yeah, from a young age, like that's where my
Yeah.
sickness comes from.
Yeah.
Get down
like
with the sickness.
Down with the sickness.
Yes.
Sickness.
Shout out Disturbed.
That's so good.
Yeah, like you always had to anticipate what was going to happen
Right.
in order to survive, basically.
Right, and then proactively, and that's where like a lot of like lying came from too.
Yeah.
Like wanting to lie just so I didn't get in trouble for something dumb,
Man,
Yeah.
It goes deep.
Yeah.
kind
Okay.
of freaks you out, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Okay, so 8s are the challenger, the powerful, dominating type, self-confident, decisive, willful, and confrontational. 8s are self-confident, strong and assertive, protective, resourceful, straight-talking, and decisive, but can be egocentric and domineering. 8s feel that they must control their environment, especially people, sometimes becoming confrontational and intimidating. 8s typically have problems with their tempers and with allowing themselves to be vulnerable. At their best, they are self-mastering. They use their strength to improve others' lives, becoming heroic, magnanimous, which means generous. For those of you that don't know that word, I looked it up. And inspiring. My basic fear, being harmed or controlled by another person. 2, my basic desire to protect themselves, to be in control of their own life. Key motivations, to be self-reliant, to prove their strength and resist weakness, to be important in their world, to dominate their environment, and to stay in control of their situation. The staying in control is absolutely such a big thing. Like after my divorce, and I owned a business with my ex, and so I needed to get another job because I needed to be able to provide for myself. Because like weddings weren't coming through, I had a rebrand, and my only other like industry that I was really passionate about was beer. So I got a job like running a beer department at like a really nice grocery store. I lasted 3 months being someone's employee.
Oh, wow.
I just couldn't deal. Like someone else telling me where it was supposed to be and what my schedule was, and that I could only get 1 weekend day off, and like I was just like, fuck you. Like I need to feel like I'm in control of all of my, like, surroundings. And it's so funny because even in times where, like, I don't necessarily feel like I've been particularly, like 8s at their worst are very egocentric, very self-involved. And I don't feel like at my worst I've ever gotten to that point. I've more gotten like self-deprecating, not believing in myself, depressed, and I've gone to like a different wing, more like a 9 wing, which is like more subdued.
Who's Brit?
Yeah.
9.
She's a
Yeah.
9.
Through.
Through and through.
Through and through. But yeah, I can see throughout my entire life this theme of like needing to stay in control, needing to be the leader, like something. If you ever follow like Enneagram meme accounts, one of the things that hit me strongest was like they like what each type does when they enter a room, and the thing that an 8 does is analyze who's the most qualified person in the room.
Oh my god!
And I do that all the time. If
That
I know,
is so funny.
if I
to
know
me.
there is someone that's more qualified than me in a room, I can relax.
Really?
Which is why my best friend Meredith is a 3, and that relationship pairing is like 3s are also very self-confident, very like they're the achievers,
Yeah.
and I'm like the challenger. So it's like I can relax with Meredith, and so her and I have a completely opposite relationship dynamic than like me and you have, or me and Madison have,
Yeah.
because it's just different in that like.
I
don't
probably like a 3.
I don't know the meme account for that, but I could guess that if a 7 were to walk into a room, it'd be like the obligation to entertain.
Yes,
It would have been of like immediate, like, okay, like scope the situation out. But if it's like dull, it's like, all right, get a good combo going, get something going.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I got
We saw the original video for that on TikTok today.
Wait,
Do you know what
really?
it's about?
No.
It's just a bunch of like high school kids around a frog,
Little tree frog.
videotaping a tree frog, and saying "shoo."
Wait, my favorite rendition of that is when the special education kid comes in the room with new shoes.
Oh.
And then the teacher be like, "All right, calm down." I can say that because I work with kids with autism.
Shout out to my alma. How do you say this? Alma mater.
Alma mater. Mater.
Oh, I thought it was alma mater.
No, mater.
Something new.
I'm sorry.
Did you go to
no.
Wait.
You thought it was alma modern?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
There's
what
no
I've been saying.
chance.
There's
Or-
no chance, Joe. You're 31.
I turned 32 in 48 hours. So.
Yeah, his
And I've been
birthday.
saying alma mater.
Classic.
I mean, that's a pretty normal thing to mess up, right? Mess up.
No, that's
Okay.
horrible.
Well,
That's the
shout
worst
out
thing
to the
ever.
University of Akron, where I did get a great education.
His alma mater.
My alma mater. What is it called?
Mater.
Mater. They did. I saw on Instagram they did a she march the other day through the university. A group of students just marching through the campus.
People
saying,
being like,
"She."
oh
Loved
my
it.
god.
Kids
Love
coming
to
up
see it.
are funny as hell.
I
They're
know.
Like I
They're
hate
so
to
much
say
funnier
that,
than
but
Me
they're
so
too.
funny.
they're so funny.
I'm loving
They're
it.
so funny,
Yeah,
man.
we try to teach my mom like things to be relatable to her fifth graders. I'm like, Mom, just stand at the top of your
Like
class. It could be like a repeat after me, and you just do this, and everybody would go shoo. And Mom's like, what? We try to teach her the whoa, and she goes,
Also, but I do love what I used to say, like ice in my vein.
Yes.
I do love the pose. I do love what it means now. At least what I think it means.
We don't know what it means.
I think it means like that's me. Like
that means
100%
you're
that's me.
cold. You're like
No, I don't think that means that anymore.
Really?
Gen Z is saying like, oh, this was such an embarrassing moment. 100% that's me.
what?
what?
Yeah. I mean that. At least
Gen
that's what
I
it
always
Z,
thought it
please
was like
advise.
I'm
Ice in
cold
my
as
veins.
hell.
No, that's what we used to do. Like, hey, ice in
Okay.
my veins, dude.
Because that's how I explained it to everybody who's asked.
No, that's what the NBA. That's what we.
Josh,
grew up watching.
Yeah.
Josh is
LeBron
like
James,
our
ice in his
zeitgeist.
veins.
He's our Ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
I know.
Like he is the person that we always ask.
I'm
like,
shook that I.
No, it doesn't mean that.
No, I don't.
You're gonna
I
have
don't
to
think you're
Urban
right.
Dictionary.
I'm
it.
100%
I hate
right.
to say.
I'm 100% right.
Okay.
Okay, let's read about
Okay,
these
yeah.
6s and 8s.
Yeah, we're going 6s and 8s. Enneagram 6s and 8s can build an extraordinarily strong, long-lasting relationship on what is, at root, a defensive view of the world. Both types feel that most people and the world are selfish and untrustworthy, and that the world is highly unpredictable.
Yes.
One, therefore, needs to take care of oneself and one's own interests, 8s, and have strong allies and the ability to get back up from one's friends, 6s. Both 6s and 8s have deep issues with trust, and with finding people they are able to trust, and so when they have found each other and have gone through a period of testing, their alliance can be solid and deep.
Our alliance.
Solid and
Solid and
and
deep.
deep.
Would you like to make an alliance with me?
I would definitely. Let's make it alliance.
Once they have bonded with each other, both types have done so on a deep level of their being, and while their relationship may change over time, they are never indifferent to each other. They both admire and try to embody strength, commitment to one's word, honor, unquestioned loyalty, responsibility, hard work, courage, and a spirit of protectiveness, and fighting for the underdog. Very much so.
Yeah.
We are
Fighting
in
for the
a
underdog dead on too.
we are definitely in a period of protectiveness.
Yeah.
I feel
Yes.
like I get really protective over Josh right now. Just with like, you've been like stressed out with work and
Yeah.
like family stuff.
Yeah, my
and,
dad
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad we're name
You-
dropping.
yeah, you can go into it.
I can.
Yeah,
Nice.
permission to go there.
Thanks,
Oh,
3
man.
beers for letting the honesty roll
Yeah.
out of my boyfriend's mouth. Yeah, just like his dad has completely like lost the plot a little bit.
Sorry,
Just
dude.
it's really sad, and I definitely see his dad as like a threat to Josh's well-being. And I've always seen him that way. And like I clocked it right at the beginning. The first time I ever met his dad, I was like, this is a problem.
And it's
But it's hard to say that to someone who deeply cares.
I'm a
Where-
6, so I'm super loyal. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's your
why do you have a
dad,
problem
man.
with my dad?
Right.
Not bad.
But he's been an asshole.
Nah, it's
Yeah.
hard.
Yes. And he's been a friend, and just lately, his
Right.
dad has been giving him like, I'm your father.
Ooh.
You have to respect me.
Yeah.
And Josh is like, you've been my friend. Like, us at our healthiest, you've just been my friend. But, like, from the beginning, I'm like, I felt like Josh in his growing up with like him being a 6, struggling with anxiety, feeling like the whole world is out to get him. I feel like no one's fought for you. And I do feel like it's not like my job, but it's something that I believe that like my role in our relationship definitely is
That's your 8.
to protect.
Yeah.
To protect you, to protect our relationship. That's definitely something that like I come on really strong with. And it's only been literally the past few weeks that you've like fully let me protect, be a protector.
Which is a great sign.
That's great, though.
Yeah, no.
That's huge. The trust.
Yeah,
It's built.
That's that unquestioned loyalty.
It's solid. It's deep.
It's so strange. Like I said, like just like the defense mechanism inside me would just be like, no, my dad's like awesome. What are you talking about? But he's saying all these shitty things to me. It's like, what do you like in my brain? It's just like a battle. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Like,
Yeah.
And then I've just finally come to the realization, like, Rachel has my best interests at heart, and my dad's being a shitter, a grade A
Which is hard
shitter.
for a 6
But
to
it's
get
that unquestioned, quote, unquestioned loyalty. You don't question your loyalty to your dad and
Right.
your dad's loyalty to you.
Right.
And then that you have to like dig down deeper, and if that's therapy, and if that's Enneagrams, and if that's anything that's like, what is this damage he's doing, and if that's an 8 coming into your life and showing you like, oh no, this looks different,
It
right?
doesn't
And
mean it's a lost cause, but it means you're gonna have more control on how to fix it, which is so nice.
Right, which is great.
Well, I mostly just want you to have the freedom to create the relationship you want. And I want you to have, because I think another thing 6s struggle with is like a true sense of self and a sense of self-respect. And you will sacrifice your own self-respect to make someone else comfortable, to make someone else feel valued,
100%.
to make someone
that
else...
was actually on my list of we sacrifice a lot.
Sacrifice a lot, and I don't want to let you do that because I'm like, you are great as you are. You bring so much to the table. You, like, if anybody shit talks to you in front of me, we're going to have a fucking problem.
Watch out.
Let's go.
And me being a loyalist, I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Do it.
So for the first time.
Fight that battle,
so
you know? Like,
his dad instigated some bullshit, and literally like a week later, we are going to his grandma's birthday party. So we're like, great. Like, we already know we're on bad terms with your dad. Yeah. We're going to have to see him. And so we're preparing, and I told Josh, and I was like being really serious. I'd like just gone to therapy, and I was like struggling. And I was like, because I'm getting to this point where like, so I'm a confrontational 8, but I studied conflict in college. So I only engage in conflict with people when I believe that it will be beneficial to both parties. When I believe it will go somewhere beneficial. I'm not just going to like tear someone a new one and walk away. Because it doesn't do anything. I want to feel like we're building something. But with his dad, I'm like, we're getting to a place where I can't keep my fucking mouth shut. Yeah. I'm like, we're getting to a place where I feel like if he says something off color to me or to you, I'm like, I'm gonna say words.
Oh man.
And Josh said, he's like, then say them.
And Josh, you feel comfortable with Rach. Not that I'm not saying that you can't speak up for yourself, but you feel comfortable with Rach feeling that for you.
100%.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because I know if anyone, it'd be me to work through. Just me personally would have been like, no, can't feel that. I have to feel that myself and then outwardly express that to that person.
And I think that's so uniquely a 6. And I think it has to do with our control. Like, Josh, if you say something to your dad, you can't control what his reaction is going to be. But if you just eat it, you control the reaction.
Yeah.
And that's the 6 coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That is so true.
Like, I have a job where I have to be confrontational, but in real life, like, not that I avoid conflict.
No.
Because I call people out on a lot of things, but I also, more like Rach said, like, this needs to be said right now.
Yes.
Yeah, but
literally
also,
when we're driving,
that's different. When it comes to the rules of the road, none of these Enneagrams count.
Also, you're protected by a car, so he's like,
and just
I'm in my comfort
so
zone.
I give people, I do a thumbs down.
You have flicked people
I
off.
have, but I often lead with a thumbs down because there's nothing worse if you're driving and you get told that you messed up.
Okay,
like,
but
dude, you suck.
If the
You're
thumbs
like,
down
"Damn."
is literally out the window, whole torso out, like in his face.
He needs to know. Dude, you
He
let us down.
knows. He knows by the horn.
If I get flicked off, I'm mad. If I get thumbs down, I'm like, hey, that's on me. I did this.
Yeah.
But it's usually you doing the thumbs down.
No, I give it to, yeah.
I know, but I'm saying, like, you rarely get corrected on the road. It's you doing the
I'm a
correcting.
pretty controlled driver. I don't
Defensive.
stay in
Oh
my lane.
my
I'm
God.
not defensive.
Okay.
I am.
Jess is a great driver.
Or Jess,
I
you
am
can
not.
keep going. You can keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. Both are doers and enjoy being active, getting tasks accomplished, building a more safe and secure world for themselves and their loved ones. 6s bring warmth, the desire for personal connection and commitment, a certain playfulness and sensitivity.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's very true of you too. They are also mental types and bring skepticism.
Skepticism.
I wouldn't have got there. Good job.
Analytic thinking and the ability to think through decisions and to foresee outcomes and potential problems before acting.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Mm.
6s thus tend to act as advisors and lieutenants to 8s, who tend to take the lead and provide the
That's
vision
that
and
one.
audacity.
That's that
The audacity that 6s sometimes lack themselves. That's so funny. We literally just said that.
Yeah.
8s also bring directness and decisiveness, strong wills, confidence, and a can-do spirit that is energized by adversity and a penchant for taking on challenges. 6s tend to look up to 8s as their hero, while 8s are touched by the 6s' devotion and courage. 8s are aware of their inner struggles and what it takes to overcome them. When there is genuine affection between these two types, there may be fireworks and occasional fights, but their bond only seems to grow stronger with time.
Yeah.
Guys, I love that.
Yeah.
That's,
I feel like that's very, very true.
It feels good to hear it, doesn't it?
It's so spot on.
Yeah.
It helps you understand like, where you and Rach are, or where Jess and I are. Pickle, come on, down.
Dog troubles.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Come here.
Don't
I
mind the
accepted
diapers,
it.
everybody.
Pickles and eat, as we
Pickles
know.
and heat, as all you know. Diaper
Do you
dog.
feel like, Josh, do you feel weird? Because, traditionally, right? Like, in traditional, man-woman relationships, the man is the leader or the head of the household. And in this sense, like, I am more of the leading type.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make you feel weird or any
question.
kind of way?
Yeah, that is a great question. No, not at all. I don't feel weird about that at all.
It's almost comforting, right?
Yeah, it's so comforting.
It feels
It
safe.
it releases a pressure. Like I don't have to be that. I can just be me as a 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I don't want to answer some of the questions we had sent to us on Instagram, but toxic masculinity has, like, taught us, like, we need to ignore how we feel because we have to play a role. And
Right.
it's so comforting because, I mean, Jess is the leader of our relationship. And, like, that's comforting to know, like, I can put trust in that person and I'm still protected. And if I'm having a bad day, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I would say we're equal parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think because your 7 personality outplays my 6 personality, I think people would look like, oh, that's Jess and Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It
know what I
is
mean?
Jess
It's
and-
never, oh, there's Joe and Jess coming inside. And I love it. I appreciate it. I think I've craved it for a long time. And in past relationships, sometimes I've had to carry too much, and that's hard.
Yeah. And I do feel like it's important to say, like, I mean, Joshua and I are, like, growing together, right? We're not married. We've been together for, like, can you get down? We've been together for a year and a half. So, like, things aren't perfect. Like, I do feel like a way that we're still, like, growing in is, like, when I'm like, hey, I need you, like, when I delegate, you are still sometimes, like, uncomfortable with the delegation
gotcha.
because you
Yeah.
don't want to do it wrong.
Yeah.
That's his
Oh,
anxiety
wow.
coming in. I don't want to do it wrong. How do you want me to do it? What do you, like? And I'm like, no.
Like, don't forget
I
the bag
don't.
at the house.
Yeah.
Solid
When I
callback.
say load up the car, I mean all the shit, boy.
Yeah, no, I get that. But you're assuming that I know what all the shit is.
Ooh,
Right.
There it is.
So
When my
That's a
camera
great
goes
point,
in.
though. Like, your relationship's going to grow in that way. And, like,
Yeah.
your Enneagrams, your personality types are going to force, like,
Yes.
Yeah, so there are things that I do different
pickle.
when we have big events coming up and
Oh.
we have to do trips and what packing the car looks like. So
Mm.
I've learned through many times it's like Joe needs control and he needs preparation, but he struggles with preparing beforehand. So it's like, let's do things like way ahead of time. And it's actually changed a lot of things in me, which is good. I feel like that's his control rubbing off to onto someone who doesn't give a shit, who's like last minute packer, packs
No.
the bag, doesn't even
Yeah.
care, not even thinking, not even going over a checklist as I'm pulling out of the driveway, to someone
But
who's
you're
like,
so good at it.
to someone who has tried to accommodate that anxiety for you of like having everything we need, going over
Yeah.
not once but twice, and having the car packed and doing things that I feel like are helpful to him in that moment and easing that stress and anxiety when like packing a car, going on
Yeah.
a trip. But it's like, yes, we have this, and I'm doing like, I'm always thinking like 2 steps ahead, and that's definitely out of character and out of personality for me, but it's great. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing that I've,
No pickle.
you know.
Well, and something that also with Enneagrams is there's like there's levels. So there's like
Yes.
low
There's levels to this
functioning
shit.
Yeah.
and
Love
high
levels.
functioning. And I think as Joe becomes more high functioning, Jess, you won't have to do those things.
It's already been
And like
happening.
like that also comes into like codependency, which we talked about at the beginning of the episode, where like, which is kind of not great. You know,
Right.
like for you to have to like, you are then taking on anxiety, thinking, okay, I need to do this, this, and this to make Joe's experience less stressful.
which has caused problems, though.
Which does cause problems because then you're being forced to think
Oh my gosh,
differently
yes.
than what comes naturally to
Yes.
you.
Right.
But as Joe becomes more like, you know, levels up, when
Yeah.
he levels up as a 6 and becomes more
Evolves.
self-sufficient,
Pokemon.
because something that I was reading about with 6s,
No.
which is hard, is so like something that I struggle with is being clean. I don't really care to be clean. I leave my laundry on my everywhere. It is not something that stresses me out.
Mm-hmm.
It will to us sometimes at a certain extent, but rarely. You've seen it maybe stress me out once or twice in our entire relationship. It's just, it doesn't bother me. It does bother you, but he needs a buddy to do something with him to keep
Yeah.
Oh
him.
my god.
So
that
like
freaks me out.
let's fold the laundry together, and she's like,
Dude.
well, no,
I don't want to do
Dude,
that.
that is dead
Yeah.
on. And then at some point, like 6s, it's like, okay, this is too much for me, so I self-sabotage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy
So
moly.
I'm not doing the laundry.
Yeah.
Holy
Like, if I'm not
so
gonna have a
the
friend.
laundry is not your being
Who, me?
married. Yeah, being married. This is just
We have a pretty good work
and
balance.
and with living together, it's you have your own chores.
Yes, and you have yours.
And it is what it is. It works out for some couples. If you guys want to do it different, it doesn't matter. But I feel like yours is like trash, dishes, cooking, and laundry is not one of them. He
No.
will bring the laundry up, sits unfolded.
Okay, time out. When we first started, I didn't love to fold, but I tried. And every time I folded, it had to be corrected. So like
And
the
that's
6
what
in me is
Not
like,
the
hey,
Jim Cardone
I'm doing this
way.
wrong.
Ew.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Ew,
It's
I was
unhappy.
raised by a 1. I do have some deep-rooted
It's tough.
Yeah.
OCD tendencies from growing up in a very cleanly, perfectionist household.
Yeah.
Perfectionist.
So it carries over.
Yeah.
And it's not so much detrimental to the mental health at this point that it needs to be addressed with Yesenia. Well, not Yesenia anymore, but in therapy. But it also, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where that takes us. But I feel like that's just
Yeah.
my upbringing, not necessarily my 7
Yeah.
Enneagram.
No, but I like that you brought up that you can overcompensate for your partner, and then that in a way can like cause more problems. And I think Jess and I have seen that where Jess tries to look out for me too much that it takes her away from herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I'm a millennial, therapy is the way to go.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
Everybody
out to
should be
Ryan.
in it.
Yeah, and it
Shout
just
out
it just
Nancy.
helps to kind of understand. Wait,
Therapy
why did
Patrol.
Why did I think like
I
this?
kind of like the aesthetic. Did you guys have Safety Patrol?
Yes.
I never
in
went, but we
elementary
did have
school?
it, yeah.
Absolutely.
I like the t-shirts we had for that. If we were to ever get merch, it would be Safety Patrol merch
Mm.
because it was a t-shirt with like the
Was it,
The
would I be
sash.
therapy
Sash,
police?
yeah.
Therapy Patrol.
Therapy Patrol. TP.
You need to be in therapy.
You need to be in therapy. You need to be in therapy.
No, it's not like you need to be, but it's
Do
like
your thing.
what?
Yes.
But also like
I
what
want to
harm?
say you need to be in therapy. Okay. I literally, this is something we haven't
That's-
talked about yet. So I
Amazing.
got in therapy like during my divorce, and then I got really busy, made excuses, wasn't in it, and then was it like September of last year, got back in therapy because I was like, Josh was like, I definitely want to marry you. And I was like, okay, do I believe in that?
Oh, wow.
I should go to therapy. And it took all this time learning and whatnot. And I'm not kidding you. Like last week when I like cried in our episode about how like my love for Josh and how much that has grown in the past like month came from working in therapy and truly acknowledging, believing, and accepting that I don't owe my ex anything.
Ooh.
And that realization, I don't owe Dave anything, gave way to my ability to love Joshua so much more.
Aw.
I would have never been able to connect those dots ever because I love Joshua. He was
You're doing some
Cheers.
he's one of the best people to have ever entered my life, the richest relationship I've ever had.
Rich. What a good
Ooh,
descriptor.
So good. Thank you.
underused. Yeah,
Yeah.
underused.
Yeah, but it is like rich in a lot of things.
Yes. But it was to a certain extent stifled by my belief that I owed something to someone who I didn't need to give
didn't.
any more
Wow, I
energy
love
to.
this
Right.
though.
Good.
And so therapy brings out a lot of good things.
It's so good.
And so I'm sorry, if you've existed with parents, you need therapy. Right?
Well,
like
even without parents.
yes.
Not forget our adopted-
Yeah.
Definitely. What like
but also, they did the best they could.
Oh yeah, I'm not knocking the parents, but it
Yeah.
helps a child or a kid who's grown up now try to understand their decisions today. I mean, one of my biggest role models, I can't name them here, tells everybody you should see a therapist. Everybody should.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's no harm in it, but
Yeah.
also like do your thing. But I like it.
Good, Joe. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We all have therapists. Soon to probably we'll all have couples therapists someday.
I think it's
That's
definitely helpful.
That's
to, like-
another. That's something you also brought up before is proactive couples therapy and breaking that stigma.
Yes.
there is a stigma to it. Something that I think I struggled
Because
with,
that's
or I
Rachel.
struggle with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I feel like when it was brought up, you're like, we don't need that before,
It was just new to me. It was
Yeah,
something
but I was like, I
we
think
haven't
that
tried
brings
it
up
yet.
stuff that
Yeah.
you wouldn't
Yeah.
normally talk about before.
Yeah.
Getting heavy.
My therapist suggested couples therapy to me and Josh was like, let me go to therapy first.
Yeah, let me-
let me get a
That
basis.
helps. That
Yeah,
helps.
No,
all-
but I think it's good to like get your feet wet on your own, like
Yeah.
with it,
Yeah,
and just
it's
like
a whole new world.
But it's also that saying of like love yourself before you love someone else, and that's
Mhm.
like know yourself, know those deep rooted secrets that you're
Yeah.
holding or anything like that, and it's like do that, figure that out within yourself, and then come to your person with it, and then deal with that with a professional.
But it's also been so beneficial that you start to learn more about yourself. Some of the issues maybe you have inside the home are now being addressed, and you're like,
Right.
"Damn, we could have avoided this if I just owned up to some responsibilities I had to take."
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, team therapy.
Team
Team
therapy.
therapy.
And here that is our Enneagram episode.
Yes.
Take your test.
Take your test seriously, and we can probably Jess and I honestly can talk about this a lot
Mhm.
more.
That's so cool.
We love talking about all of them. We don't pretend to be an experts in things that we aren't, but I know Jess and I always post like Enneagram memes to our pages and stuff because
It just helps you feel understood. And that
Yes.
is one of, if you're not in therapy, one of the best feelings.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like, do it. Take
it.
the test.
do it. We'll put like the Enneagram test that we like on our link tree, so it'll be easy for you guys to find. And remember to take it not as your occupation, but
Yes.
as
Who you
who
are.
you are at your most natural or your most relaxed.
And I just automatically take 2 tests.
Yeah.
Even if you think that you identify with your first one, just take 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just take 2.
They're fun
Yeah.
questions. I mean,
Yeah.
It's not like scary. It's not like an LSAT.
Just
or-
do it twice because I feel like ain't no else sad.
You know what else that-
Never again.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes. Next week, we're gonna air our boys Q&A, so stay tuned for that.
We love you.
Bye.
Podcast. Head forward in there.